G'day, it's Rich Mclean, and this shouldn't be happening to me. I'm homeless, and it's an abhorrent conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. This is Crystal on the bed beside me, behind me, and I've been now moved on from a government agency to be moved on forcefully by police to be nowhere. I'm owed my work cover. It's 2 years late. They're arguing that I'm not a worker for the purposes of the SRC Act. Below is the evidence of my DSS employment profile. It should be paid. This doesn't need to happen. Again, I have tried to get the government to acknowledge my former relationship with Steve Icinides, a former ASIC agent and a person who's orchestrating my destruction from afar to this day. He escaped with millions of dollars, exploited me, leaving me homeless, and continues to attack me via proxy and in a very cowardly way. There is absolutely no denying that we were together and engaged for 5 years, and an equal, fair, legal settlement has to happen. That evidence is below. In addition to that, I've lost insurance. My HCF, when I got injured at work, they have conspired, Sheena Jack, the CEO, to not acknowledge my income assist, and this is unprecedented corruption because they've been caught with fraudulent documents, and that evidence is below. In addition to all that, I've been framed as everything from a rapist to a pedophile to a dog fucker to a extortionist. None of these are true. I've walked the life of a saint, and, well, not a saint, but I've worked really hard to advocate for people who are more marginalised than myself for over 25 years, and I've spoken in the Parliament to Montreal, to Dubbo, to all the radio and TV stations regarding Recovered Not Cured, A Journey Through Schizophrenia, which was a book I wrote in my early 20s, and it went very well. Human Rights Award, Saints Book of the Year. But now that people owe me money, I'm exploited as a crazy person because of the vulnerabilities and the honesty and the courageousness that I expressed in that book. That's a real abhorrent way to libel and slander someone and cast shame onto me that's really not mine. In addition to that, I failed 2 VOCAT cases. One was a violent afraid. The other one was a book in which I saved someone. The other one was a sexual abuse case in which I was the victim, and the magistrate threw it out and said I was doomed to fail. That's called corruption. That is because Mr. Ball of Ball and Partners, who was protecting a lawyer, GP that I had a valid complaint about, framed me internally to government agencies as an extortionist, and ruined my reputation and forever forbid me from getting a lawyer. I've never had a lawyer, and it is outside the remit of the Charter of Human Rights of people with a disability not to have equal access to the law and equality before the law. This has not happened. The Australian Human Rights Commission will not intervene. Neither will any statutory government agency. That my human rights have been trashed, and in actual fact the abuse and the systemic government oppression underpinned by powerful key political people was so bad and had exploited and damaged me so much that I was illogically incarcerated and further oppressed. Tragically, I attempted suicide, and it was deemed fatal in the Freedom of Information. After that, I was forsaken. I filled up with blood and then dumped into the community. No job, no food, no car, no money, no worth, and I have lived as an intelligently designed vagrant by the government, who have covered up the fact that Steve Icinides and I were together, who have covered up my work cover, who have acted in congruence with a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, in that I cannot go to AFCA, I cannot go to the Attorney General, and I'm universally rejected via omission by every parliamentarian in the country. I'm not a criminal. If I am a criminal, then arrest me. I'm not, and this movement is all on this website, killhim.info. All of the evidence you'll ever need to explore and validate my injustices, and literally what's been a persecution so thorough, so elongated, and so systemic that it actually killed me. To that, it was then covered up, and I have permanent injuries, a brain detriment, and I can't feel my feet, and it's never been acknowledged. Even the Ombudsman, of course that's set up to fail, said there's nothing to see here. I have no power. They took my job. They took my rights. They took my legal help. They took my health. I can't see a doctor. I called an ambulance the other week and they wouldn't come. They sent the police instead. That's because I'm mentally ill. But of course the police will not listen to any crime that I report. And there are many, and IBAC is not going to investigate, and I'm also a failed whistleblower at ASIC, APRA, and the Commonwealth Ombudsman. And in addition to that, the cherry on the top is the Office of Prime Minister and Cabinet acknowledged first that my freedom of information has thousands of matches, and then redact it by saying that I don't exist. That's what they want you to watch happen, me not existing. I do exist. I am here in this squat. I have nowhere to go. I have no money. No one is supporting me. My family have forsaken me. My friends have gone. The libel and slander is so vile and so obnoxious that and systemic that it's protecting very powerful people in conceited positions of money, power, and privilege, and political reputations. That is opposed to me, who is an extremely powerful person, and I speak the truth, and I am easily exploitable for a number of reasons, such as being gay or having used drugs or having a mental illness, whatever you want to say, and they will kill me before I get my power, because they know I could turn this country right on its head. Please support me in helping me. It's the 3rd of September 2022, and I have 2 weeks with nothing, literally nothing. I've been squatting here for 6 months, and I haven't had enough to live. For 2 years after I was literally murdered and then it was covered up, I was forsaken and lived in an intelligently designed utter vagrancy, and that has a purpose. That purpose is to harm and maim me. I'll repeat that. The reason this conspiracy to pervert the course of justice exists, which includes the Office of Prime Minister and Cabinet, Mr. Ball, Steve Isonides, and many other statutory authorities and public figures, is in order to render me without power and without a voice and without prosperity, and it is redacted my prosperity. It aims to do me harm. I have nowhere to go. I've been an amazing, courageous and brave person all of my life. I have a PhD. Ethics means do no harm. Harm is being done to me. When I get justice, I will repay the people who support me right now. If I put a pay ID down the bottom. I'm homeless. I have 2 weeks before the police forcibly move me on. Please help me. It's Dr. Richard Mclean. A conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, I have already proven. All my prosecution needs in the High Court is to prove that 3 or more people colluded to conspire to pervert the course of justice, or indeed they acted via omission to pervert the course of justice. My justice never arrived, and I want it to arrive, and the opposite of that is I will be a vagrant and die. I want you to support me. Please hear my voice. Crystal's at the back in the bed going to sleep. I'm just about to go to sleep. It's very tiring fighting this endless battle where you don't get anywhere. and I've had to reverse engineer it from very humble beginnings. And in the meantime, it's literally murdered me and then covered it up. Now the government's suing me. So there you go. Please help me. It's Dr. Rich Mclean. We live in hope. Thank you.